veterans or a little extra to it playing
No, but
me personally?
sure, yeah. You guys like to hear about the team meetings that we have and the unit meetings. I made a big deal with the defense last night. This isn't about me. I do have deep personal relationships with a lot of the players on the team. Very proud of them. When I see them play really well, I'm excited for them because I care about them, care about their families. But this week is, trying to be the best defense that we can be, coach our guys to play at a high level. They've got a lot of really good weapons. They're doing a really good job with the offense. And so we've got complete focus on what we have to do to play really well on Saturday, schematically, motivationally, all those kind of things. But this week is not about me at all.
What's your relationship with Brent?
We were friends for a very long time. Yep.
Coach Brown mentioning, there's, I guess, 8 or 9 plays in the game, that he discussed with the staff.
Sure.
Is there any common thread through those plays that caused them to?
No, it's I think it's one of the things that, and it happens on all levels of football every single Saturday. And I think as you watch the totality of the game, there's so many long stretches of really good defense being played. Everybody executing, everybody playing at a high level, fundamentals, technique, and playing really, really hard, which I think they did that regardless of what happened. Just every now and then there's a critical bust, and they find us. So those are the things we have to clean up. Went over that with the entire defense last night, and I just showed them, here are the things that, again, we cannot do, because I think on 8 of those plays, I think over half of the offensive yardage happened, and we cannot let that happen. And if there is something that a stress point gets found, we have to have people that erase the thing. So the big pass to the tailback, who's a great player, could have been limited to about a 25-yard gain, right? And then it compounded it by us missing a tackle or 2 tackles. But then also, you get to see guys like Jakeem Harris on that very same play show tremendous motivation, effort, speed to go track a really good player down to give us a chance to live another down. So there's stretches of really good defense, and proud of the way they're playing. Just got to eliminate the critical mistakes at critical moments.
What about that game that you had at Tech where you went back and played Temple in 2019?
Yep.
What about that experience can you apply to this experience, if at all, if it's applicable?
Yeah, I mean, and again, I don't want this to be about me. I've had those experiences. I think Coach Brown has shared that he's had them in the past as well. But just the complete focus is, if I spend time worrying about that, I'm not going to be as good of a coach as I need to be for the players on Saturday. So the whole focus is just, how can I do the best job in preparation, because they do so much on offense that if my complete focus isn't on what they do schematically with really good players, then I'm doing a disservice to the guys. So my complete focus is, how can I be the best coach for these guys? How can I put the best game plan together? How I can call the best game? That kind of deal.
So it doesn't apply?
What's that?
I'm saying,
So the answer is, I think me having that experience helps, because I've been through it. And was it hard? Sure. But, I've gone through it. Now I think I'm better prepared I have to focus on what my job is. And my job is to be the best that I can be during the week and on game day for these players. And the relationships that I have, the love that I have for the guys is going to be there no matter what.
Does it help that it's here and not there this week?
I think I would hopefully have the same mindset and the same thought process.
The whole feeling of walking into that stadium as opposed to not having to walk into that stadium.
So here's how I've been lucky, is I've had 2 years to process everything, right? And I've come to peace with everything that happened. What we walked into, the efforts that we made, and then what happened at the end. I've come to peace and really been very self-reflective of how I could have done better, what I would do the next time in similar circumstances. So in that pace, there's zero ill will towards anybody on the administration, fan base, any of those things, I'm at complete peace, and there's zero ill will. I just want to be a really good coach for this group of guys.
Is the self-reflecting, is that part of coming to peace? Just
I think so. You know, you spend long hours in the man cave and, you know, sit there and take notes, and, you know, coaches like Matt Brown and Dan Quinn and the myriad of other coaches that I'm really close with that have been through similar situations give you counsel on how to handle everything, give you counsel on how to digest and journal what you've gone through and what you would do different. I think all of those things have been very helpful. I'm blessed to have an amazing wife that has been with this journey going on, I'm going to mess this up, going on 29 years. I'm about to get in trouble right now for not. 20, you're going on 29 years of marriage. Yes. So 29 years of marriage. I am blessed to have a wife that is such a deep thinker, has wisdom. She's very young still, but the wisdom beyond her age to help me process and digest and to be real with me. And that has been just a blessing for my life, so I can move forward things, move beyond things, learn from things so that I can be a better coach, husband, father, all of those things.
Jeff, Haynes King is even more of a mobile quarterback than Holstein is, and he made some big plays against Carolina last year.
Yep.
Holstein was obviously able to have some success on the ground last week. What is, without giving away too much, what is sort of the key thing that you guys have to do to?
Yeah. So there were, I think, two design runs that the quarterback from Pitt had on Saturday. One was a 3rd and long that got us, but there was only really 2 design runs. One we got a tackle for loss, one popped out for about 8 or 10. This whole offense is designed around the quarterback, and they are blessed to have a really good one. I mean, that kid is a really good player. He operates the offense really well, sees the defense, knows when to spit the ball out on the perimeter, knows when to give it when the give is there, knows when to keep it when he's supposed to keep it. So I think what they're doing offensively with his skill set, it's really good. I mean, it is, you know, there's some problematic things that we've got to continue to rep throughout the week, but I think his skill set and his competitive nature, all of those things, I think he's really good.
Are they is their offense kind of throwback in a way? Because the opening game against Florida State, they just snapped the ball, or ran it down their throat and controlled the clock. Is that sort of a throwback and sort of the?
Yeah, and I think that's, you see that in the NFL too. I know Coach Faulkner, who I've got a ton of respect for, learned from Jeff Monken, who's now with the Ravens, and all the similarities between that offense and what they're doing in Georgia and what they're doing here. And, Haynes can operate it at a very high level. But the offensive line, Jordan Williams, I think, has started every single game of his college football career. Weston Franklin's played a ton. Corey Robinson's been, playing a bunch. And then Joe Fusile, I can't say the amount of respect that I have for him as an offensive lineman and the way he's playing. So they're doing a really good job controlling the clock, running the ball. I think they've given up 1 sack on the year, and I don't even think it was more than a negative 1 yard sack. So they're doing a good job protecting the quarterback, good job getting the ball out on the perimeter. All of those things, I've been impressed with the way they're utilizing the really good players they have.
Jeff, when it comes to Kamen Rucker, I know that Mac was saying that he was pretty much cleared to go Thursday night.
Sure.
You and Ted had a conversation with him about the situations in which you were going to use him. Just kind of how did that go as far as telling him, hey, we want you in more so on 3rd down, more so in these situations, and these are the packages that we want you in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cable was great about all of it. He's been tremendous through the entire process. Even when he had surgery on his hand through the spring, he was just very communicative. He's a grown man with a grown man thought process on everything. And, I was so proud that he came out there and gave us, I think it was 9 to 10 snaps on 3rd down. The 2-minute drive before the half, came out there, we got a good stop, and he was out there playing at a high level. The first play that he was in, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon running back there at the quarterback, and it was just exciting to see him back out there. And hopefully throughout the week we'll be able to get him in some more normal down situations as well. But just ridiculously proud of him and thankful that he's healthy, A, and B, contribute, hopefully more and more and more as we go forward.
And then how much did those non-plays help just for him to be on the field and just to,
Yep.
I don't know, be in a real game? And
Absolutely.
About
I think it was good. I mean, how many, he's been out 4 now, right? Three full, and so playing 9 plays in the 4th, so it was, you know, it was good to have him back out there. And I do want to say too, Jacoby Callan played really, really well. This is his 2nd game with the start, his 2nd game playing 50 plus snaps. Still probably a little too many, but I think he's playing really well. It's been a good for us to be at that spot for him to play that.
It seemed like with Kanan too, there was at least 1 or 2 plays when he was in, he almost runned up and down the line, looking
Yep.
for a spot to attack. Was that planned?
That's playing. That's the way that package works. We wanted him off the ball. We wanted him to hunt the protections, and we had it schemed up where we could get a favorable matchup. And that was all by design. And that him having a little knowledge and finesse to understand how to set things up too was really good.
How discernible is the difference when you look at how the offense has to be so uber aware of him and where he is, how that makes other guys better
Sure.
on the next snap, but also can affect the offense some.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you have somebody that you have to know where they're at on every snap, it helps everybody. It helps the defense, helps the play calls, it helps his teammates, all those kind of things. And he is that kind of player.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6 games in now, halfway through the season.
Yes,
How
sir.
do you assess the total defense?
There, like I said earlier, there's been stretches of greatness, and then there's been, you know, some times where it's not resembling what we know it can be and what it should be. So just putting that consistent product on the field for 4 quarters, every single game, is the challenge, and you know we'll rise to that challenge. And but the attitude, the demeanor, the leadership, the striving to get better every single day, working to get better. Like last night we had a 12-period practice, and they were getting after it, you know, and that's you know what you look for in a coach. And you know the guys are doing a good job with that, and the leadership and the character and all those things. We've been really proud.
How gratifying.
Helps the mobile quarterback maybe hinder, limit, alter, change the ways and types of blitzes you can bring.
Yeah, so and every week's a new entity, and the way we pressured week 1, the way we pressured week 2, week 3, every week there's a different, you know, philosophy, and even by halves, you know, we'll do things that we'll run these type of pressures a bunch early in the game, but in the second half and late in the game, there's the different kind of pressures with the different coverage behind it. So we have that going throughout the year, and then we try to make it as simple as possible for the guys to understand, here's the blitz pattern, here's the coverage that's behind it, here's how it all works together. And the guys have done a great job with that and handling when we do flip the script at halftime, how we're going to do that as well.
How gratifying was it to see Caleb get that pick 6 early in the game after, as you said, teams have been picking on him maybe a little bit in the early part of the
Yeah,
season?
and I think I think he's shown the last 3 weeks that 21's a really good player, and I think that's kind of I think that's his reputation now. Going on his 6th start now, and just for him to get that play, and there's not a lot of humans on this earth that would have been able to catch that football, maintain balance, stay in bounds, and then stride out for 75 yards. I couldn't do it, right? I would have been falling. I wouldn't have caught the ball A. It would have fallen over B. But he was able to catch the ball A, play the perfect coverage, B, catch the ball, maintain his balance, and then stride it out for a touchdown. That was an impressive
And he
play.
dodged Holstein too.
Cutback too.
Holstein
Yes.
came over and looked like he was gonna get it.
Yep.
Baseball.
The replay showed that it looked like you were gonna run out of the field right
And I probably do that way too much, but I think I hurt my knee too on that play. And if y'all look at it, I got some ups now, but then I came down a little weird, so it's Caleb's fault. My knees.
Don't you have someone that kind of makes sure you don't, someone behind you makes sure you don't rush on the field line?
Sometimes Coach Babe gets a tad aggressive with him pulling me back, but loving, he and I have a great relationship, and because if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be bottom of the numbers half of the snaps. So he keeps me back. He does a tremendous job as my get-back coach, and I've got a long line of get-back coaches that have had a lot of success in the game. So shout out to all the guys that have been my get-back coach before, and Coach Bake's one of them, and add to the long list of great guys.
That's a highly compensated position, I would think, right?
Yes, 100%, because that's a lot of stress,
That's a lot of work.
trying to keep me off that field.
Get back guys, you still in, the one that you had?
No, the one that I had is now the head strength coach at the University of Buffalo. Yep, Ryan Orton. He was my get back coach there, phenomenal. One of my dear friends, he was with us at Temple too, and he's now the head strength coach at Buffalo, and he's doing amazing. The head strength coach at Wisconsin was one of my get back coaches. The former head strength coach at Atlanta Falcons was one of my get back coaches, and now Coach Bake. So.
Is it always the strength coach? Is that just?
Oh, it's got to be. Yeah.
Got it.
They got to do some lat workouts and some bicep workouts to get
When
ready.
it's a new guy, is that something that you practice like in the scrimmages in the fall or in the spring? The get back guy. I can't imagine that that's a learned on the process during a game thing.
No, we did it during preseason camp. Yep, because that's even preseason. Y'all, I don't know, are they allowed scrimmages? The scrimmages are worse.
We need an
Scrimmages.
ISO cam on this.
Scrimmages are worse. But I've been very poised, and it hadn't been too much of a stretch for him. The right there. Yep.
Geoff,
Gotta get
the
a go
explosive
again.
plays
Yep.
and the third down conversions
Yep.
from Saturday, I mean, those seem to be glaring still.
Sure.
Like, do you think those are if you've got a laundry list or a grocery list of what you need to fix?
So let's go through it. So two of them were runs on 3rd and 11. So they went outside of their tendencies because they had been almost 100% pass. They went outside their tendencies, so kudos to them. So two of the explosives came run plays versus a 3rd down blitz package, or just rush package. One of them was a busted coverage. Sucks. I hated that the kid busted the coverage. I love him. It probably would never happen again in life that happened. And one other one was just deep layered route that just got behind our safeties by 1 yard, and we were there to make the play. They just made the catch. So those were 4 of them right there.
But are those sort of the top of
Oh, 100%.
the list that needs to be?
Absolutely. And then, there's a lot of really good things, but if you don't correct those 8 things and they keep coming up, we can't let that happen. And so that's the big focal point. The guys know it. When over half of their yards come on 8 plays, you don't want that to happen ever.
One thing that Elijah Huzzy was saying after the game was kind of in the context of that was he's mentioning communication and saying that kind of needs to increase, things like that. I guess when you're on the sideline or even looking at the film, is that something you can kind of notice, like the on-field communication?
I thought that was a little cleaner, the communication from the guys. The corner position, they're so far on an island that sometimes the communication, getting all the information out to them, just in ball, that is consistently a problem. But I think internally, the guys that are in the interior 9, it was clicking. They were all on the same page, and just getting that information out to, because we put Huzzy on an island a lot, and he's a really good player and he can handle it. So
How do you improve? How do you improve or try to improve the missed tackle problem in season?
Sure.
Because it seems like the last 2 games they've really been sort of a prevalent thing.
right, I thought 2 games ago, yes. This last game, it was 2 explosives. But as a totality, I thought the tackling against really good players was improved from the previous week. The previous week in the second half, tackling was the issue, right? This past game, it happened on 2 explosives, but the other part, we were tackling really good players, even in space at a high level. But every Tuesday is a big tackling circuit. Every Tuesday against the scout team, it looks like, and this is a credit to our show team as well, it looks like a scrimmage. We're just staying up and not, getting people on the ground. But the physicality and the running to the ball and the thudding and the show team giving it to us giving it to them is really good. And I think our coaches have done a good job stressing the pursuit and the tackling